I love you guys.
Welcome to the Torg Stories podcast. We're recording on Sunday, June 14th, 2026, and it's Flag Day. It's President Trump's birthday. I ran the Mountaineer 4-miler today. My wife, Megan, and daughter, Izzy, are currently in the air on their way to Salt Lake City. So much going on at my house.
Oh, exciting stuff.
Right?
I did know it's Flag Day. I saw a tweet or something, and I thought, Flag Day, that seems like a weird day for Flag Day. It seems like out of nowhere, but who cares about Flag Day? Who cares about Donald Trump's birthday? Not me.
I gave it a quick look up because I really wasn't sure. Flag Day, we premiered, we confirmed the Stars and Stripes as our flag.
I see. On this date.
Yeah. So it's June 14th every year.
Okay. Well, great. I get June 16th off next week, so that's another holiday coming.
You have what?
June 16th off.
Oh, here's something that even,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's something even my wife doesn't know. My first wedding day, June 14th.
Was it? Well,
yeah.
It just doesn't think about that much. Yeah.
No, it doesn't go away just because.
Right. You don't forget it. Yeah.
Just because it connected to Flag Day. I wouldn't remember the date if it wasn't Flag Day.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah. I actually didn't realize it was Trump's birthday because, he's sort of, they're having the big UFC fight. I
did know that. Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to look up and say, is it really on this exact day? Yes, it is.
Oh, I mean, did they do it purposely?
Yeah. Right. So I think he's commonly accused of conflating this big celebration with his birthday.
Right. But it's not a big celebration. Nobody celebrates Flag Day, right?
No, I guess the celebration would be this enormous event on his front yard.
Right. The UCF or UCF. Yeah. I don't know the initials, but yeah.
UFC, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
So I care less about the UFC.
I stayed up and watched the NBA Finals, went to bed just after midnight, got up at 5:40 to run my race this morning.
Well, great job. I did not watch the NBA Finals. I've pushed it from my mind.
Oh, my gosh.
I watched 4 soccer games yesterday. Actually sat down and watched 4 soccer games. And I enjoyed them, actually. So I'm getting into the World Cup in a big way. I subscribe to Fox 1. I can see all the games now. So I'm up on it.
All right. I forgot. I was going to try to read an article about the World Cup, but I didn't. I did see some really fun looking videos of all kinds of things that World Cup people from other countries are doing here.
Right. It's fun. I get those on my feed a lot. They're also amazed how nobody really cares about the World Cup,
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the backyard and USA scores, and I expected to hear people yell from the houses, but nobody yelled. No kidding. Yeah.
So as descendants of the Vikings and Norwegians, I did see the Norwegians do like this rowing thing.
Right, the row chant. It's pretty cool.
I liked it. I know.
Yeah,
I'll dig it. So what?
I think Norway's a middle of the road team. I think they're fine, but no one's expecting them to do anything.
So you and I, we'll see how long we stay with this. We've kind of stumbled into something that I like. I think so. We're talking about what we read and watched during the week, and what I like about it is I think when you're talking to me and I haven't read or watched it, that really makes you deliver something to me and listeners that's super appropriate because you're not like spoiling the ending. You're telling me about something. We're sharing some of it. So I think that's working pretty well. I'm going to model it first, and I'm going to go through what I read and watched very quickly, and then I want you to do the same, and then we'll start digging in.
Okay.
So I read the New York Knicks just won a championship of a lifetime by Danny Chow on The Ringer. I read Matricide, an essay by Megan Dom. I took so many notes on that. I watched Office Romance starring Brett Goldstein and J-Lo on Netflix. And I watched Secret Window based on a short story by Stephen King again on Amazon. We rented that. And what did you read and watch?
Late last night, I read Why the NBA Champion Knicks Are the Greatest Team in New York Sports History by Ian O'Connor on The Athletic.
Wow.
Earlier this week, I read The Knicks logo almost included the Empire State Building by Jeremy Relosa on Curbed. And basically, I watched 9 episodes of Widow Bay on Apple TV.
Oh my gosh.
I subscribed to Apple TV and watched 9 episodes. The 10th and finale is getting released on Wednesday. So I'll see that. And that's it.
Okay, here we go. So we'll start with you and the Ian O'Connor article. I read his Belichick book. It was fantastic.
Okay, I don't know Ian O'Connor, but it was a fine article. I read it because I thought, wow, the greatest team in New York history. That's such a big thing to say. Yeah. Like I said, I kind of divorced myself from the NBA championships, even though I've been a big NBA fan this year. The playoffs really hit me cold, and I wasn't into them at all. And I guess I've accepted that it's nice that New York wins. It seems crazy to me how many celebrities come out of the woodwork like they're New York fans, and they're like, they live here in LA, and it's like, what the hell? Why are you a New York fan? Just because
like
they're the biggest market in the world? The Haim sisters sitting with Taylor Swift. The Haim sisters are LA people, LA born and bred. I think they even have a song about how they tried to live in New York and didn't really like it. So it's, it's kind of crazy, but at the same time, it's like, whatever. It's not that important.
Right. I think I'll probably get a few details wrong here. One, Taylor Swift is really tight with that girl in the crime shows, right?
Mariska Hargitay. She's tight I don't think they're like best buddies. They're totally different age groups. But
didn't Taylor name her cat?
She likes them. She named her cat after her character. Yes.
Right. So maybe those sisters just sort of. I mean, on the one hand, right, you have these people who aren't no Knicks fans, but you also have. I'm the kind of person who can grab my girlfriend's, get some cool T-shirts made up, and sit in the front row of an incredible event. So I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, I'm not blaming him. And let's be for real. I actually really like the Haim band. I've seen them several times live, and I really enjoy them. It's just funny to me how, this is going to be the small town inn, I guess, coming out. Yeah. Even though I lived in Los Angeles, it's like, yeah, all we really care about is New York and LA. That's all we care about. And it gets a little old to me. It's like we have to accept New York as America's team. They're not, but whatever.
I love, as I said before, throwing that in as periphery stuff to the game. I really like. I don't care at all. It doesn't bother me. If Taylor Swift's at the game, I want to see her. If Jerry Seinfeld goes over and talks to Larry David, throw that up for me for 8 seconds. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be like hanging in their comments criticizing them. I don't mind it that much. Yeah. It's more like, I guess it really goes down to Pacers and Knicks is a rivalry, and now the Knicks have won before the Pacers, and I don't like it. Okay. So I
meant to have that in my questions. Yeah, I want to talk about, we can do it now. You and I are now thinking about, can the Pacers beat the Knicks?
I think they can.
Yeah, and we
absolutely think they can. Right. I think Knicks have done it on grit, like not really talent. Is that, am I being dumb on that? I don't know. And maturity, whereas the Spurs have all this talent and they don't know what the F they're doing at the end of games, right? They just blow it. Their youth kind of blows it. To me, talent would be Spurs. Spurs would win, but they were just stupid. They were dumb. They played stupid. And the Knicks had grit and heart and things like that, which are very admirable and respectable. And they should be clapped on the back for winning. They are kind of like this article says, one of the reasons why he's kind of picking the Knicks is because of likability. And honestly, that's like his final tipping point when I read the article. And I get it because people like Jalen Brunson, he's 6'2", he's undersized. Yet he goes in and scores 40 whatever points he scored in the game. Josh Hart, he's just out there getting rebounds and working hard. OG Anunoby, he's like a little plug. He's like a hard-nosed player. Same with Mitchell Robinson. They're all kind of out there like that. They're not like huge time. They're not 6. Or I'm sorry, what am I saying? They're not 7'6". They're not 7-foot wonderkins. They're not LeBron James. So, they should get a lot of admiration for that. And I do admire them for that. And so that's kind of the tipping point for him picking them. I have no idea about who the number 2, number 3, number 4, but luckily the article laid out some rivals to who the greatest
the team wise. Yeah.
Yeah. The greatest New York team would ever be, because honestly, I have no idea, right? And so they came up with the 1998 Yankees as the runner-up. Basically, they have the same winning percentage as the Knicks did in the playoffs. It actually tied. It was like 0.846 or something. And the Yankees did win more games in the regular season. But I don't remember these 1998 Yankees. I have no clue who was even on the team.
You're not a baseball girl.
Yeah, only the Dodgers. Only the Dodgers. That's all I care about.
Pretty ironic given your statements about New York.
I know, right? That's what I mean. I understand the whole the phenomenon, and it's almost like I'm split in half or something. They were 16, and the Knicks were 16-3 in the playoffs. That's really impressive, actually.
Right.
Even if they were playing against ridiculous, stupid teams, in my opinion. So anyway, he really does end up with them being the greatest team and the Yankees being number 2. One sentence I thought was a little crazy, and maybe correct me, but he's like, this team will be talked about in 100 years. 100 years? 100 years, we might not even care about the NBA. I don't even understand that quote. We'll be talking about him. If the Knicks win 5 more times in the next 100 years, we won't be talking about them that much.
100's a lot. I like 50.
50 years. People that are alive when it happened, we might talk about it. Nobody's talking about Babe Ruth baseball right now. You know what I mean?
You just throw Babe Ruth out, but you don't even really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know any facts about Babe Ruth. I don't know how many World Series he's won.
You didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a big guy and he pitched and hit. That's all I know about Babe Ruth, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that was the Knicks article I forced myself to read, even though I didn't want to.
I've got Danny Chow here from The Ringer. I really struggled to read something kind of interesting that brought something different to the article. Maybe people were still working on stuff today. So I'm just going to read you a couple. It was
pretty quick turnaround.
I'm going to read you a couple things that I think can take us into a little bit more to talk about. So this is the opening paragraph, which is just a couple sentences. And this is sort of goes with what you were saying. 53 years is a long time for an echo to travel from the legendary Forum in Inglewood back in 1973 to the Frostbank Arena in San Antonio on Saturday night. The one tether, the one constant across 2 landmark moments in New York City history was the Knicks' blue away uniforms with orange and white trim. So just connecting the colors and focusing on the 53 years, if you weren't aware. And I didn't realize that they had beat the Lakers. I didn't realize that it was Wilt Chamberlain's last game. So to bring in your city and the Forum was interesting to me. Good start.
Yeah, I think another that reinforces my point. We don't even, you and I mean, maybe you can correct me, maybe you do. You're a pretty knowledgeable NBA guy. I don't even know when the Knicks last won. I know it was a long time ago, and I have no idea who was on the team, except for maybe the past week I've read articles about it. But before that, I didn't know. I had no clue.
It's a stretch for me. Sorry, what am I thinking of? I'm spacing it now. Well, I was thinking I don't think you can count Kareem with the Bucks and Oscar Robertson. So that's sort of like right when I'm barely aware. Bill Walton with the Trailblazers, I'm barely aware. And now when we get to the Celtics and the Lakers in like 83, now I'm 13 and I can talk about stuff. I'm certainly, to go deeper than that, you've read books and retained you've gone on YouTube and you've watched.
No, I know nothing much about NBA history and haven't watched much. But for me, it starts with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. That's me, Lakers and Celtics. That's the first time I'm even aware of the NBA.
And I'm getting together for the first time since about 1994, 30 years with my college group. And they're really good at stuff like that. Like most of them can like rattle off.
I mean, a true basketball head, sure, but I don't know.
So I'm more of a team building scheme player development person as opposed to a who won the title in 68.
Right. I am never going to know facts like that. The years kind of all glommed together to me. I hardly even know what year it is now.
So this next quote links Wilt Chamberlain and Wemby, and I think Wemby's kind of interesting to talk about. after we wrap up this final. So here we go. Wilt Chamberlain scoring his last basket versus the Knicks, losing to them in the finals. Sorry, that should say scored. Wilt Chamberlain scored his last basket against the Knicks, losing to them in the finals. Where the Knicks' last champion served as a farewell to a walking myth, their current triumph coincides with the arrival of Wilt's spiritual successor, a modern-day Goliath who, if this series was any indication, will be the object of awe and derision for the rest of his career.
So you're saying Wilt's last game was in the championship?
Yeah, Wilt lost in the finals to the Knicks in 73, and he was done.
And then he retired.
And now here comes Wemby. So where are you at with Wemby?
So 1973 was the Knicks. That's when I was born.
Did I? Yeah, that's right. So you will remember that the rest of your life.
Now I will always know how many years it was.
You might not remember 26.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
The day before Trump's 80th. That's when the Knicks won.
Is that how old Trump is turning today?
80 today.
Oh my God. Get him out of the office, guys. He's so old. My mom's 83, right? And she's in the hospital.
Oh, I was going to give you an update on mom later, but I'll just, this is a little teaser. I walk into the Foley Center. The guy with a couple others has just finished up the banjo. So mom's been brought upstairs, sitting in the atrium, live music.
Listening to the banjo.
By the time we get downstairs into her room, she has no memory of the live music.
She didn't even remember the banjo.
She didn't remember that she wasn't there.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to say more and ask you some questions about that later. So Wemby, where are you at with Wemby?
Wemby, I mean, he's definitely going to be the dominant figure. If he stays healthy, he's going to be the dominant figure for what? 10, 15 years? I don't know how long an NBA career lasts anymore.
Does he have a rival?
A rival? Not a rival like him.
I don't think he does. I mean, he's got that. He's got kind of a weird rivalry with Chet that he's dominating.
Right. He's dominated that rival. No one else can really challenge him height-wise.
It'll be team. It'll be his rival. It'll be teams, if anybody.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe it'll be people like the Knicks. I don't know. I think he's very interesting. I like him. I like that he has a really strong personality. So even if you don't like his personality, at least it's really distinct. He's like hyper competitive. He likes to think he's like maybe he is. I don't want to be dismissive. He's like a deep thinker. He's out here reading books, doing artwork, visiting monks.
Drawing sculptures in the park.
Yeah. Right. So he's interested in the world around him.
He's a Renaissance man, tough guy.
He's a Renaissance man. He's
chess player.
To read. Yeah, he's a chess player. He's French. He has all these interesting things about him. He's not like somebody like Jokic who you're like, oh, does he even care about basketball? Which I think is a dumb comment, but all he cares about is horses, and that's all you really know about Jokic. You don't even really think about him more than that. So I think he's really interesting and unique and good for the NBA, and I enjoy watching him because he's so crazy. He's out there.
Yet you didn't watch.
Yeah, I didn't watch because I was just over it. Yeah, it just sometimes it's so long. You just
it is long,
right?
I mean, I was struck by. I want to say that. Let's say last night was Brunson's. Maybe it wasn't Brunson's. It was probably a Spur because they've played more games. It was like his 23rd game of the playoffs, whoever they were talking about. So the cap on the North Carolina high school basketball season is 24 games.
Right. Yeah.
So the playoffs were our season.
Yeah, after they've already played, I don't know how many games there
82.
are. 82 games, yeah. So that's crazy. I just got a little tired of it, a little fatigued. He's a little bit of a baby, which can be fun. Sensitive, he's like going to react and say things.
Yeah, I didn't really see the baby side. Here, I'll talk about. There's Knicks fans certainly think he's dirty, and there are some videos of him. He had the flagrant in the Western Conference Finals. He should have been called for a flagrant last night, getting under Brunson's landing area. He would have he really been suspended for the next game? That would have been crazy.
Yeah, catastrophic.
But I see most of that as just a plan by the rest of the league to abuse him. And so he's going to come back at him. So it was dirty when Jokic neck chopped one of the Morris brothers from behind, but that's all in a larger war where you have to stand up for yourself or get. So to this point, I see Wemby more as fighting back and maybe choosing some ill-advised moments to fight back than I do being dirty. And if
Right. I didn't say he was dirty. I said he was a little bit of a baby.
no, I know. No, dirty is the Knicks,
Knicks
especially in New
think he's a
York,
little dirty. Yeah,
and then
sure.
just I think in the national media, Wemby's flagrance and is he a dirty player is kind of one of the bigger questions.
Well, he's no Draymond Green to me.
No, I mean
So,
you don't have to look very far until you come across great players
right.
who are throwing elbows.
And
I mean,
it's part of their hyper competitiveness. Yeah. And kind of lost in a moment. I mean, unfortunately, anger is something that can flash.
it's the
right?
way Jordan reacted to strategies by teams like the Pistons.
Right.
Okay, I got a few more quotes for you.
Great.
This is about Brunson. And most importantly, an all-time night from Jalen Brunson, the 2026 Finals MVP, who stands alongside Jordan with the most points in a championship-clinching performance on the road with 45.
Woo. Right. Did an outstanding job. Of course, I didn't watch it, so I can't really say much about it. But yeah, he's like a little bulldog or something, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I wondered.
He gets his shots up and he makes the shots. What can you say?
I suspected, yes. I said, how many more times is Jalen Brunson going to prove me wrong? But when I thought about the Spurs, wings, and guards on defense, tied to Wemby protecting the basket, I thought Brunson might average 18 to 20 points on upper 30s, 40% shooting. No. Right. At one point he had half the Knicks points. He had 45 of their 90 something, which is unheard of. So Brunson can do it against anybody.
Right. You thought with these strong physical guards that the Spurs have that they would be able to guard this 6'2" guy, but they couldn't. So
and the last step for those Spurs guys, and this goes with their youth, they're very excitable, they're very jumpy. They're fouling 3-point shooters. They're not. I think they did a better job of staying down, but they aren't there yet. It's the same thing. It's not the same kind of ways of scoring, but the need to stay down against SGA and Brunson is similar.
Right. I will say they're just very young, except for Fox, I guess, but they're very young, and so I feel like the Spurs have a great future next year, right?
Yeah, it seems like they have the best future.
Yeah, I mean the Thunder still. If that guy, what's that guy's name that was hurt that has the same name as everybody else?
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, if he's fine, I mean they would have won probably against the Spurs.
Then those two are even, but you just have a guy who's 20 coming off the bench who will be better. And you have Castle who will be better, and you think Wemby will be better.
Right, yeah, for sure. They'll probably be the leader, I guess. But I don't know. Thunder are right there.
All right, one more quote from the article.
Okay.
And this is, do you know who Jose Alvarado is?
Yes.
So Jose Alvarado, off the bench, 4 to 8 minute guy who's like a hustle, guard the ball guy. And then Mayor Bloomberg, former mayor of New York, so this sentence hooks these two up. It seems like the start of a whole other essay that has nothing to do with this game or very little to do with this game. Alvarado, who was raised in an affordable housing co-op in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, that was the most ethnically diverse apartment building in the country, crash landed into former NYC Mayor Michael Bloomberg, whose net worth exceeds $100 billion in Game 3, is the kind of metaphor that could take years to fully unpack. So just to think of a guy growing up in that place and that there can be something where this 100 billionaire guy is sitting in the front row and he lands on him and he's come to watch him. Pretty amazing. To me, that's like wow, the country is amazing.
Right. I mean, sports are definitely a way that people from, I don't want to say nothing, but people from tough economic means can rise above, right? So sports is right there.
So I thought that was a cool job by Danny Chow from the Ringer.
Way to go, Danny. We love it.
All right, I got a few more things to say about the finals game that you didn't watch.
All right.
Some of them will be.
Someone will say it must have happened that way. I don't know.
Okay, here's my number one difference in the two teams. By the way, they had the exact same 3-point stats, exact same number of makes and attempts.
Are they very good? What's the percentage?
It was like 12 of 37, I think. That's off the top of my head. Wait, here it is. Let me go to the box. Nope. Team stats. Oh, and I nailed it. 12 of 37.
What's the percentage?
Oh, I don't know what the percentage is. That's like almost, that's 34%-ish.
Yeah, so it's not great. They're not like great 3-point
No,
teams.
I'm just saying they were the same.
Oh, okay.
Field goal percentage within two. You don't want me to read all the numbers. I'll tell you that all of the numbers are almost exactly the same. And the only
it's the closing, it's the way they can close, right? And the Spurs can't hold on to a lead, apparently.
Here's what I'll say. It's 8 more free throws for the Knicks. And Jalen Brunson was 13 of 15 from the line. So you could say the Knicks had a statistical advantage over the Spurs, but really it's only Brunson. It's just Jalen Brunson, and he was 13 of 15, and nobody on the Spurs can do that. Nobody on the Spurs is even sniffing 10 free throws, let alone 15. So that's back to the Brunson can do it. I wondered if Brunson can do it. He can do it.
Brunson can do it. Brunson knows what he's doing in general.
We've skipped over one of the most exciting, should we say basketball games? Should we say finals games of our lifetime? Did you watch that one?
We skipped over. What do you mean?
Game 6. We didn't talk. Oh, sorry. We didn't talk about game 4.
Game 4. No, I didn't watch it. I heard about it. Spurs were ahead like 29 or something. And then I did see the replay of the OG tip-in.
Yep.
The Spurs should be embarrassed. I mean, you're just losers if you can't do that. I don't get it.
So a couple things about that. If I'm up 20 in the first quarter as a coach against a pretty good team, I'm kind of worried. It's just hard to do that. It messes with your head. You're
going to be worried the whole time.
If you're up 20 and
you're up 20, you're worried if you're down 20.
If we make our first 5 threes, okay. So, the Spurs set the NBA Finals record for 3-pointers made in a half in the first half. When that happens and we're up 6, I've texted you in those situations before. I'm worried.
Right, for sure. But to me, I'm worried all the time in the NBA. No lead is ever safe. I've never seen a safe lead.
Right. Wemby missed 2 huge free throws late. You knew that?
No.
Went to the line, missed 2 free throws. De'Aaron Fox got a steal.
I saw that. Yeah, he should have just dribbled around. What
up 1, 11 seconds to go, tried the layup, got a block.
Fouled. Yeah, do something
and
like
then
that.
I knew it the second it happened. I've heard people describe this play wrong. I think it was Castle throwing it in. After the OG tip in, it's now become common knowledge that Cat tipped that inbound pass. And they're like, oh, that's why so-and-so bobbled it. If Cat doesn't tip that pass, it might be an alley-oop dunk from the sideline. It is a point-blank layup on the lob. The play worked perfect, so a Cat fingertip saved them. All those were amazing plays.
Right, and the OG tip-in, and when I saw it, it's like Fox and somebody goes up to Brunson, and then Fox just stands there and he doesn't go find his man to block out. So I would blame that on Fox, actually. The OG just walks right in and does the tip.
And what else do I have here? 2 more things. I said this last week, just to reiterate. I think Wemby is some version of Kevin Durant on offense. Wemby is the best defender in the league. He looks like he's the best defender since Bill Russell. That's a big statement.
Yeah, I have of course, I've never seen Bill Russell play. I have no idea how good he was. So,
and a couple great
How tall is Bill Russell, by the way?
Oh, not 6'9".
Which is pretty tall back then.
Which was tall back then. That's right.
Yeah.
So Jordan and Pippen were 6-0 in the finals. Wemby's not going to be undefeated in the finals. John Havlicek from the Celtics went 8-0. Bill Russell went 11-1 in the finals. And here's my question for you. What's your over under for finals appearances for Wemby and finals wins for Wemby?
I don't know how that over and under works. I'll just
You
tell you
just
how
got to
many I
tag
think
a
he's going
half
to
onto
get.
it. So how many
Okay.
finals is Wemby going to make?
I think he's going to make 4 more finals.
Ooh, so the over under is 5.5, 4.5.
And he's
Oh,
going to
5.5.
win like 2.
Yeah. I would go, I think I would go over on both. At
Really? You think
least
he's going to go into more
at
than that?
least 6 finals.
I think he's going to have injury problems.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And a tall guy, how long do they last? I don't know. 12
6
years.
is a lot. I mean, is he going to go to as many finals as Jordan? He's going a lot earlier. It'll be
How many
health.
did Jordan do? You said 6?
Jordan was 6-0 in the finals, went to 6 finals.
Yeah.
It took Jordan longer to get there.
Right. That is true. Wemby made it when he was 20. What is he, 22?
And that's what I think.
So maybe it is over. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say.
All right, Ann, what's the second article that you read?
It was a frivolous article about the Knicks logo. I like looking at these art directed, I like looking at the evolution of logos and things. So basically, this guy in 1991, his name is Michael Durrett.
Wait, you're messing up our link.
I know, it just typed that right in there, the words I said. It's still doing it. I don't know how to stop.
We've got dictation going.
I stopped. I saw the little microphone. Okay, I hope you don't use that link. I don't know what to do.
You got to replace it when we're done.
Okay, you'll have to remind me to
And
do that.
so the Torg.com, I linked all these articles. I linked all these writers' Twitter accounts. So come visit. Okay,
so basically he talked about how they asked to update the logo, and the logo that he tried to work in was with the Empire State Building, and I really like it, actually. I don't know if you looked at the pictures.
I have to subscribe
to reach your limit, yeah.
Hey, is this guy's name Rello? Rello?
Let me scroll up. RELLOSA.
So I think Jay, I can't tell if this guy I found on Twitter is him, and I can't look at the article to be able to tell. So it's Rellosa. Is that right?
Rellosa, I guess is how you would say it.
Yep. All right.
And it's actually asking me to sign in again because it doesn't see my subscription. So he had a logo with the Empire State Building kind of in between the N and the Y, and I thought it looked really cool. But there was licensing issues with that, like the Empire State Building wanted money. I guess is what I'm saying.
It seems like they would take that back and let him use it.
Yeah, like let it use it. The logo now, I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's a basketball with the big Knicks, a little New York on top.
Yeah, we remixed it for the Pioneers. We have a shirt that's kind of
like do that. You really? Yeah.
I took out the triangle. There's kind of a triangle that holds it together. I took that out of ours.
Let's try to make it a little different. Yeah. The background is like a triangle, upside down triangle. And then there's some other ones I like that are a little cutesy with different buildings. They all had a lot of buildings in it. Anyway, I thought the whole process was fun, and I liked looking at all the regular pictures. And then I thought, what is the best logo, right?
Oh, so I like that.
I looked at all the NBA logos. You can see them pretty quickly. And so here's my top 3.
Okay.
This is the standard logo, the logo that'll pop up naturally. So I'm not talking about.
I'm looking at them right now.
Uniforms and stuff like that. Yeah. So my number 1 would be the Bucks. I love that.
Yeah, same. Love the Bucks logo.
Love that big buck. He looks cool. I love the colors of the green, the deep green. My second one, I guess I'm going to go with the Nuggets. I kind of like the
it's a good one.
Gold digging pickaxe, whatever they got going on here.
That's another one that I've tried to look at for inspiration since I'm in the mountains.
Yeah, it's both of those are kind of more modern, subdued logos. You know what I mean? They're not like in your face. The third one I picked is kind of in my face, but I like it, and it's the Hornets. That little hornet.
Yeah,
I like it. So those are my top 3. What's your top 3? Just glancing at them. You said the Bucks.
I've thought about this a lot because I've looked at logos a lot because I do our shirts and stuff, and we have a W. And our Watauga W makes it a little hard because we don't have a mascot, like we don't have a bear or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think you're right about the Bucks and the Nuggets. And if I was adding, I like the Pacers a lot.
Oh, I don't care for the Pacers. Yeah. I like our colors.
Yeah.
I just don't like that big P, I don't know.
I tend to not like, I guess I'm a little over the circles. So when it's enclosed in a circle, and that is how the Nuggets is, but it overcomes because of the mountains and the pickaxes. But I like the Bucks is great. I think Bucks would be one for
Yeah,
me.
I'm up on the Bucks too. Me too.
And then I obviously like the Knicks since I kind of used some of it. Um, Whatever, I modeled it, the 3D letters and so forth. And good job. I like that segment right there.
Okay, great.
Okay, my second article. Oof, this is long.
Yeah, I just did a quick glance at your articles. I thought, oh, this is dark. But go
It's jarring.
dark.
Oh, it is dark. It's definitely dark. So the essay is called Matricide. I don't know how to say Megan's last name. It might be Dom. And matricide, I think, means when the daughter kills the mother.
Oh, really? I was thinking it just meant a mother kills herself. So you're saying, like me, I would kill mom.
You
Well,
would kill
that's really
Carol
dark.
Sue.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
that.
And it's not, that actually doesn't happen. To speak to the title a little bit, it's it's a mom and a daughter who struggle, and the mom dies in the story. This is the nonfiction essay. And then the writer gets really sick and almost dies, and the writer gets pregnant and loses the baby. So that's all. I think somehow matricide has to do with not loving your mom enough. It's
Right. So we're not talking about like
murder.
helping her out in terms
No,
of,
we aren't.
yeah, like Switzerland or something. We're talking about
Actually, I think we might be up to like 30 states that are allowing some form of that here.
you're right, euthanasia, I guess is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
right.
Yeah. Um, which I actually think euthanasia is fine if you want to
It's just
go.
becoming a problem, I think, in places like you mentioned, that higher and higher percentages of people under 20 are doing it with questionable mental health issues.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like once you just start letting people, once you're
Kill
letting adults
themselves.
say I
Yeah.
want out, there are people saying they want out who might come out of it in a couple years.
Right. I mean, how many people have we seen that tried to commit suicide were saved and then like, thank God I didn't commit suicide, right?
Right.
So it can be tough. Yeah.
So I wanted a couple things about the writer. This is the first essay in a collection called The Unspeakable and Other Subjects of Discussion. I got it out of my collection of essays. Megan here is a fellow 1970 born human being like
Oh,
like me. She's a graduate of Columbia. She has an MFA degree from Columbia, the same as our guy Beller. Was it Beller or Heller who wrote the H&H Bagel story?
I'm not going to pull that one out.
He's been writing about the Knicks. So I'm going to give you. I think this is the longest paragraph by far. I think this will help us into talking a little bit about our parents and our moms, which you probably weren't ready to do today.
Well, we have the same parents, so
That's right.
it should help. Yeah.
Here we go. This is the beginning. People who weren't there like to say that my mother died at home, surrounded by loving family. This is technically true, though it was just my brother and me, and he was looking at Facebook, and I was reading a profile of Hillary Clinton in the December 2009 issue of Vogue. A hospice nurse had been over a few hours earlier and said my mother was very imminent. She was breathing in that slow, irregular way that signals that the end is near. Strangely, I hadn't noticed it despite listening for the past several weeks, months earlier when her death sentence had been officially handed down, but she was still very much alive. My mother had casually mentioned that she'd noticed this breathing pattern in herself and that I should be prepared to walk into the room and find her gone at any moment. But apparently it was here and now. And when I reached the third paragraph of the second page of the Hillary Clinton article, this remains imprinted in my brain. I can still see the wrap of the words as my eyes scan the column. I can still see Annie Leibowitz's photo on the previous page. I heard her gasp, then nothing more.
It's a long paragraph.
It is.
Sentence almost. Yeah.
It has something in it that I try to decide if I should cut out of my style, but it's definitely my style. I am very prone to parentheses and dashes, and in the middle of a thought telling you about how I was reading this article and then I associate the article with this other thing that happened. I tend to do that.
Right. I think when you say it out loud, it's harder to follow than when you read it on the page. Maybe the parentheses help you, I guess. I don't
Do
know.
you remember the moment our dad died?
I wasn't in the room. I remember, I think mom just came out and said, I think he's dead, right?
Mom said, and then the thing that never went away for mom that I think's interesting, um, and I don't even know if it would be like normal or less normal, is mom came out kind of panicked, yelling, I can't find a pulse. I can't find a pulse.
Oh, I didn't know that
So
actually.
I would differentiate mom from me. And then I was expecting every day for 2 weeks that we wouldn't find a pulse.
Right.
I didn't see anything like, man, I hope dad lives 2 more weeks. He hadn't spoken, he hadn't moved, he wasn't eating, he wasn't going to the bathroom. So that's just sort of an interesting difference between me and mom, and maybe I would be different if it was not my dad, but yeah, so that's
Well,
my
it's probably
memory.
different if it's not somebody you spent, every day of your life with the past 60 whatever years, right?
Right. So would I come out panicked? I can't find a pulse. It's pretty morbid to throw Megan into
Yeah,
that
we
position, but I don't. I kind of think Megan wouldn't react that way if I hadn't moved for two. Anyway, that's just like
I
not
think
right
it's
or
hard to know. Yeah.
yeah. It's not. It's true that it's hard to know. It's not right or
Plus, we're talking about people in their 80s. And so she's also in the 80s confronting her, somewhat soon death in a way. So it's all there together. It's not like he's 25 dying of cancer or something. I don't know.
right. Okay, I got a couple more quotes and then a couple more follow-up questions. There's this spot where this woman who's an atheist who sort of wonders about how confidently she's an atheist by the time this essay is over. She talks to her mom about maybe reincarnating as a bird.
Oh,
And that
okay.
kind of comes up randomly. Here we go. So here's the quote from the essay. It's amazing what the living expect of the dying. We expect wisdom, insight, bursts of clarity that are then reported back to the undying in the urgent staccato of a telegram. I have the answer. Stop. They're waiting for me. Stop. Everyone who died before. Stop. And they look great. Stop. We expect them to reminisce over photos, to accept apologies, and to make them, to be sad, to be angry, to be grateful. We expect them to clear our consciousnesses, to confirm our fantasies. We expect them to be excited about the idea of being a bird.
Yeah, I don't expect anyone to be excited about being a bird, but I certainly do really relate to the rest. Sure, you might expect some grand revelation, but I guess my personal belief system isn't like that. So to me, it's like just a bunch of parts of your brain being reawakened from your past, and you're just kind of pulling up the things that have stuck with you the most. And sometimes what sticks with you the most isn't even that important, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
some of the earliest memories of my life, it's like, this is stupid. Why do I remember that? But I don't remember this. So that's what I think of it. So I guess I don't personally expect that much of life of someone dying.
Of
I
the
don't,
dying.
yeah, I don't expect that to get some revelation from the dying, but certainly a lot of people do. A lot of people think they will see all their loved ones in death, and I guess I have never thought that. So
I
guess that's the same
know
for
I'm
me.
attracted when people are told something, when people who write, for example, or people who make stuff like David Bowie, when they are given 6 months to live or less than a year to live, I am very attracted to the things they create then. I know that, which is in the spirit of this. So somebody like David Bowie who knows he's going to die in around a year, and he uses that time to put out one more album and to write one more. I don't know if it's a musical opera or what, but that's sort of fascinating to me.
Right, that can be very interesting. A true artist reaching into his art for something new at a profound moment in his life. Sure.
Ooh, well said. I like that profound
Well,
moment.
thanks. It just rolled right off my
Yeah,
tongue.
when you're talking, who knows what'll come out.
Who knows what's
And
going
in
to
this,
come out?
the bird part reminds me of something I think about a lot. I have no idea what our grandpa Bill thought about getting liver cancer and dying.
No, I've never had any deep talks in my life with my
So
grandfather. Have
I
you?
no. And this is something I did that seems stupid and silly and like this sentence. Grandpa's in the hospital. He's got a week or two to live. I buy him this like waterfall, little, I don't know, size of a basketball waterfall. And it has a picture of our family in it. And I take it to him. It's my gift to him. I plug it in next to his hospital bed. So it makes a running water noise,
Right.
which I thought was pleasant. And it had
Right.
a
You thought
picture
the
of
noise
us.
was
I mean, for
fine.
all I know, it made him have to feel like he had to pee. And he's like, but it's like, I don't know what was in his head, but I can now sort of imagine me. I'm dying in two
You
weeks,
bring in this
and you brought me
waterfall.
this little
Yeah.
waterfall with a picture of you in it. What's that supposed to do?
Right.
I don't think he thought that. I think he thought, I don't know what he thought. I guess I don't really know him as a thinker.
Yeah, I don't either. I hardly remember. I don't even think I saw him in the hospital, to be honest. So I can't even comment on it, sadly.
Yeah. All right. I told you a little bit about mom. Let's see what else I had here. Oh, I mean, just this is sort of the same. So I think mom went to exercise, and then I think she went to this live music. And so and if you come visit, when you come visit, you should just go into a trip into the Foley Center with a completely open mind.
Okay.
Like this might be nothing. I know I've flown from LA, and this was one of those visits. Sure, I can sit there for another hour if I want to, but I'm not even anything I do to mom is just keeping her awake for 15 more seconds.
Right. She's not having
So
any
I bring
real.
her I bring her a sandwich. She loves to get outside food,
Right.
whatever. And yeah. And like one time, I mean, I think they're not going to serve her shrimp and grits anymore. She doesn't like, but sometimes it's like mom doesn't eat any of the thing they bring her.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Been there, Mom.
so that's right. So, I mean, they'll set that down and she'll go, I'm not going to eat that.
Right.
So she's falling asleep in the wheelchair. I grab her from the upstairs atrium and bring her down. And I've brought her in this time a Chick-fil-A sandwich. And so she takes a bite of the sandwich, she puts it down, she falls asleep. And so I get up to her and I'm gonna put her sandwich back in the thing from Chick-fil-A. And then she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, this looks like it's about to fall on you. I'm just gonna set it right here." And she says okay and falls asleep. And then, I sit there for 15 minutes and I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to go. Um, and I stand up and her eyes open up. Um, and so then we talk and she takes the sandwich and opens it up and she's like, there's bites out of this. She took the bites like
Right. She
less than
doesn't
5 minutes
remember.
ago. So it's just, I mean, it seemed more pronounced on this visit. I don't know if it's always going to be like that. But now we're just talking about from every 3 minutes not remembering the
Being
thing.
reset.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just interesting, I guess.
Yeah. Pretty
Okay,
crazy.
here's a couple follow-up questions for you.
Okay.
Was our mom a big talker?
I would say no.
No.
Yeah. Do you think she was?
I don't know. I kind of don't remember. I remember when we lived in Bill and Ogie's old house on Highway 14 across from the river. I kind of remember me, you, and mom sitting around in the kitchen a lot talking. But I don't know who was making that go.
Yeah. I think my mom or our mom and myself, at least, I can't speak with you. We have the similar, we can be a big talker, but it has to get going. It has to be someone we're comfortable with. But otherwise, we're not a big talker.
Like if I think one of the reasons this podcast exists and you're the partner is I would pick you up from the airport and we would basically have a talk about like this, a little less organized. And we would talk all the way back from the airport. I think mom was like that. I think she could tell
Yeah,
you.
but I wouldn't say it's a big talker though. To me,
Yeah,
a big talker is like somebody meeting strangers and just talking.
right.
And that's just not how she was. And also, I always never had a struggle to talk with mom. Whenever I was with mom, we talked easily. Whereas I'd be with dad and I'd be like, I don't even know what to say. But I also spent a lot of time with mom just quiet and not talking, and it was fine. So I think we were just similar in that way. We could
Sorry,
be big
Martin.
talkers, but we're not.
Dad dominated conversation.
Yeah, and he always want to talk about what he wanted to talk about, and it was never something that was even remotely interested to myself. So yeah,
And this to use a cliche, could easily be the pot calling the kettle black. Um, they were long answers. Dad's turns were long.
Right. And I do think we all of us in the whole family wanted, well, maybe not mom, me and you, we also want to control the conversation more. And he's our father. And so he had the power to control the conversation and be like, oh, I don't like this at all. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. Right. And with mom, I could be like, I'm talking about this, mom, and you better hop on. And she would.
Because
Right.
I think the thing that's different about mom now, which actually represents a little growth, even though I'm thinking perhaps the last week has been a little bit of a turn down, is that now mom, and this would be a thing she used to say, mom will say to me now, within the last week, what's Bill been up to lately?
Right.
And
I
when
feel
she
like
was
that's standard. She always says
Well,
that.
when she was at our house, the last, and maybe she was like that when you were here, but the last month she was at our house, she was not going to say something like that.
Yeah.
She
Well, I
was
think in the last couple of years, probably in the house since dad died, was probably just very isolating for her. She just sat in her room, watched the same show over and over, you know. So I think and she probably knew what you were up to all the time anyway. And was just like,
so this woman in this essay, and I got rid of the quote because I thought I had enough quotes. She talks about her mom watching the same channel all day, no matter what. Like it doesn't, like let's
we
just
hear
say
you.
she put CBS on, and it doesn't matter what comes on CBS, she's watching CBS. So we're in this new era from when this was written that mom's got it on HGTV and she's not turning the channel all day long.
Yeah. It was wild when that started to me. Yeah.
And then she did that with the sound off.
I think her decline kind of could be noted when she started being like, I can't read this book because I don't even know what's going on in this book. Right. She used to read all the time and she could tell you what she read. And then I remember being in there and she was like, I was like, well, what about this book? And she was like, I don't remember what happened in that book. And so I was like, okay, well,
Her notes, whether they're things she wrote on the back of pictures when she was 40, or their notes she took when they bought the house at South Landing in Rochester. Is that where South Landing was? Rochester?
I don't know what South Landing is.
That
It's
was
not
their
familiar.
address.
Oh,
There's a little bit of a deeper side. When mom couldn't tell us what books were about now, it made me wish when she was 40 or 50 that I was more often saying, what are some of the books you've read lately? Because I don't know how she answered those questions because she sure couldn't answer them after 70.
right, sure.
And the other thing she did, I mean, I used to go to the App State Library and grab her 5 to 7 books and she would read them in a week. And that became a stressful job that she had to finish. And then she quit playing Wordle with her friends because she told them she said to Megan, I don't have time to play Wordle.
I don't think that was a true reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I mean, maybe it was just,
She struggled with it and couldn't get
So
out of
your
it.
explanation, we don't know. What's your best guess on why mom doesn't have a short-term memory or she has this dementia? What would you say?
I don't know. When I read about reasons, and these are stretched, these could even be a conspiracy. I don't know.
Right.
But I read things like, don't take too much Benadryl or allergy medicine.
Oh.
Well, she took allergy medicine all the time.
Mm.
Don't don't take too much anesthesia. Anesthesia is going to degrade you every time you go. Well, she had to do the things she did. So there's nothing you can take away from that. But
I don't know if that's true, but that is interesting to me that because it's
she had that knee surgery and then she even declined even more.
It
could be tied to anesthesia.
By the time our parents were 65, they I don't think they had a surgery they shouldn't have had. I mean, she maybe
either way, facelifts and stuff. Yeah.
Like the immediate result of her knee surgery was her blood pressure went from extremely high, probably because of the pain, to normal or a little low. So
right. I'm not saying she shouldn't have had the surgery. I absolutely think she should have. I'm just saying I do think that contributes a little bit to it.
So based on what I've witnessed, I agree with you that after 65, each of our parents declined every time they went under anesthesia.
Yes, I'm saying as in my life right now, I'm never going to take allergy medicine. I don't have horrible allergies, so it's not a big deal, but I did take it for maybe a couple of years. And I'm never going to have anesthesia now, unless I have to save my life or heal my broken leg or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to have, even though I kind of do want a facelift.
Oh,
but I don't really have the money for it anyway, so it's okay.
is a facelift the safest one?
I don't know. I would just like something to take away the lines that are going to form right here.
Look at me. Mine are more pronounced than you.
Well, you're a man and you are slightly older than me.
Yeah.
But I can tell mine are going to be bad as I get older. So I could see my vanity going. And I don't even have that much vanity, but who wants to have big marionette mouth lines? Not me. Anyway, so those two things I think I will avoid. But otherwise, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, to me, I don't feel like I'm gonna. It's just stupid to say. I don't feel like I'm gonna get dementia, but it's dumb because who knows? I could easily get it.
Yeah, here's a more far off theory. Just the amount of times that our parents lived with it. I think in the 12-mile days, especially, that we lived right there in the thick of all those crops.
Fertilizer.
I mean, you walk.
Fertilizer, Bill, actually is a really big thing for Parkinson's.
Yeah. 40 yards from our back door was a cornfield. And I think what might have saved us, and Dad was doing things like detasseling. One of the things
there that long though.
No, I know. So I think the strike against that theory is we move fast. I think something on the good side for me and you might be how much we moved around.
Right.
But what both of our parents had different forms of dementia.
Right. And the water gets into the water.
I think one of my so I like that as a theory, and I didn't think of it until we started talking. I think there might be something to Mom being over 70 and having maybe 3 solid years of really poor sleep.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's one I forgot. Sleep is the third thing.
So that's a lot of stress on her brain.
She was stressed her last 5 years easily, especially last 3. Stressed all night, not sleeping regular. I think sleep is a big thing. I can't believe I forgot it. That was like my number one thing.
Just Martin's perseverance and determination on the things he wanted in the last, whether he wanted to buy a side-by-side, whether he wanted to short oil, whatever it was, that was Martin's kick.
Stressed out her mind. Yeah.
He used to sell dry wash and guard. That was a kick. But when he couldn't get out of his bed and we had to be the ones who did the stuff that was related to Martin's kicks, that was a lot to endure, along with going to the bathroom however many times a night with Dad.
Yeah, I forgot about the sleep. And I do think that's a plus in my bracket. I sleep well. I do wake up a little bit in the night, but I sleep a solid 8 every day. So I'm on sleep, man.
Okay, closing comment on this article.
How did she kill her? I don't get it.
No, I think, okay. So this is I've read this essay 1.5 times. I think well, I read the whole thing and then I started reading it again and then I ran out of race. No, I just didn't. I ran out a week to read the whole thing over again. I'm going to say, I guess I am going to read you this line. Here we go. Here's the short answer. By not loving her enough. By not letting her be herself.
She really killed her.
No. I tried to make that clear in the opening. So this is the writer getting sick. And she almost died from some kind of bacterial virus that they never identified.
Oh.
Even in my delirium, I cringed the way adult children cringe when they look down and realize the hands sticking out of their arms are actually their parents' hands. I know you feel that way about our mom, Sam.
I remember about my face, yeah.
Yeah. And your hair.
Well, I feel about my face with Dad too.
Yeah.
Although you had a picture of you running this morning, right? It was on Instagram, and I thought looks just like Dad.
My students, I made a short documentary called The Mushroom Hunter.
Yeah.
My students think that's me on the poster.
Really? I don't think you look that much, but I'll tell you what, that picture today, it really did make me think, he looks just like that.
I mean, in the picture, because I used a lot of old video and pictures, Dad's probably 45 or 50 with a sock hat on, hunting
Yeah.
mushrooms, and my students they go, "Is that you?" No, but I'm not. I get it. Okay, here I go. I'm going to keep reading. I remember thinking that everyone was on to me now. My husband, the doctor, whoever else was there, they all knew not only that I was my mother's daughter, but that I was no different from her. Just as she had outlived her own mother by less than a year, I too would be denied a life outside her shadow. The message was so obvious it might as well have been preordained. No woman in this matriarchal line would escape punishment for not loving her mother enough. That's probably enough. You get it.
Yeah, I get it. Interesting. I don't know. I never feel that way, but I've never had a dying experience. So,
Well, I think we had pretty good relationships with our parents. This really, and it's not the same, but it really reminded me more of Megan and her mom more than it does our parents. I think,
yeah, I'll say one thing our parents never did, which you read about causing so many problems, is guilt, right? Like these parents giving guilt to their children. I don't think our parents really ever guilted us. I never felt guilty.
I think
Yeah.
dad endured quite a bit and didn't really pass it on to us.
Yeah, I think they were very good about that. I don't have any really horrible negative things to say about my parents.
So this was kind of a funny coincidence. Megan Dom, again, come to the Torg.com and you can link to some stuff related to this story. She has a WKRP shirt on her X profile picture.
Oh, I used to love that show.
So I quoted the
Was that
show.
what the show was called? WKRP in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
I
So
liked it.
she's my age and I like that show as well. I quoted the show this week before I looked up Megan. We had some,
Really?
I don't know if you'll remember this line. I don't
I
know if this
haven't thought about that show very much, but yeah.
So the line I quoted this week before I saw Megan in her shirt was, "As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly."
Yeah, that's the real episode everyone remembers. I
Yeah,
remember it too. Could I name any characters on the show? I can see their faces.
same. I can't name them.
The only one I could maybe think of was that DJ, but actually I don't know his name. Yeah.
So for listeners who aren't as old as us or didn't watch WKRP in Cincinnati, they do this big Thanksgiving promotion where they're going to throw these turkeys out of helicopters. And of course, turkeys can't fly.
Turkeys
And so
can't fly.
hundreds of turkeys get bombed on Cincinnati and die. They don't actually show you that. You get the before and after. And the director says something like, "As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly." We had turkeys in our front yard this week.
It was a good show. Les Nessman, I remember him.
Oh, good. Yeah. It's sort of like, I feel like Anchorman could have been informed by that show.
Yeah, News Radio too. News Radio was a good show too. I mean, it's not very similar, but it's the same concept.
Okay, guys, I got less to say on my other topics, and you just dove in on Widow Bay.
Well, I was like, I could not find anything to watch, Bill, on the other things I subscribe to.
Yeah.
I have heard a lot of people.
Who's in this show?
Matthew Rhys is the big guy. He's from The Americans, a great show. Americans is one of the best shows of the past, I don't know, 20 years, which was on FX. He's a Welsh guy, but he plays Americans all the time. I heard people talking about this show a lot, and I thought, you know what? Fine. I will subscribe to Apple because I'm going to have to probably watch this new Ted Lasso whenever that comes out.
That's right.
We got Widow Bay, and I think next week I'm going to try to watch the new Cape Fear. And then I also like Slow Horses, which I saw the first season of, and I'm going to watch. They have mini seasons, so I'm going to watch those too. So I thought I'll subscribe to it. So I subscribed to it. I started watching it. Most episodes are either 50 minutes, some are 35 minutes. Great time. This is the kind of time I like. I don't want an hour. I certainly don't want an hour and 10.
Sub-hour.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy that was sub-hour. It is kind of comedy and kind of horror at the same time.
Yeah.
It takes the horror serious, not the horror, I guess, scary, suspenseful stuff. It takes it seriously, like it's really happening, not like Scary Movie or something.
Right.
But it also has very comedic moments that are really dry, and I think I've missed a lot of it because I'll read the review and I'll be like, damn it, I didn't even notice those jokes. Anyway, Widow's Bay is like a small island. It certainly has echoes of Lost, like it's this island that's kind of cursed, perhaps. Matthew Reese is the mayor of the island, and he at first is trying to make it like a Martha's Vineyard, make it a touristy place. And of course, other people on the island are like, no, this island's actually very scary. You don't want anyone to come here. So it's kind of the unraveling of that. It takes a lot of things from horror movies throughout the past, like Jaws and what's that main guy, Michael Myers, Halloween. It brings a lot of things from that. I was legit, like startled sometimes.
So something like I Know What You Did Last Summer, that's maybe not as funny as Widow Bay.
Right, Widow Bay is funnier.
Yeah.
Widow Bay is quirkier. The characters are quirky and interesting. But it dives into a more mystical, cursed kind of thing rather than just a killer. It's not like that. And it's not like there is a killer in it, but it's not like it's more about the curse to me than the killer. So it's pretty funny. I enjoyed it. Like I said.
What about So I Married an Axe Murderer?
I've never seen that one. Yeah.
Funny. I think the suspense is real.
So that's probably similar then.
Yeah. I like that. I always been wanting to show that to the kids, and I keep forgetting about it when we're picking out a movie.
Well, I think this is a great family show, Widow's Bay. It's pretty good. Matthew Reese is like a single parent. His wife, perhaps a victim of the curse, you'll see. So anyway, a very enjoyable show. All the little character actors, they're like recognizable, but you don't know their name, and they're all very funny. So I really like it. It's a good show. I'll tell you what happens in the finale next week.
Oh, nice. I might check it out whenever Ted Lasso comes out, and I have to start subscribing.
You have to start subscribing, yeah.
Hey, everyone, we're taking a quick break from the podcast discussion so I can tell you about my novel, Love on the Big Screen. It tells the story of a bench-warming college basketball player whose understanding of love has been shaped by late 80s romantic comedies such as Say Anything and 16 Candles. The second edition is available on Amazon for $4.99 for the Kindle, $9.99 for the paperback. You can also access the book at our website, thetorg.com. Thanks for listening. And now back to the episode. So Office Romance on Netflix. Our guy, Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso, he was Roy Kent. He's with J-Lo. It's written by Brett Goldstein. Goldstein's also in that show Shrinking. Isn't that on Apple TV?
Yeah, that doesn't appeal to me very much, but yeah, it is on it.
So I just want to pause there. And I just feel so happy for Brett Goldstein, and I love his story. And for me, his story is he had like 15 tickets sold for his stand-up in London, and he almost didn't go to the Ted Lasso stuff because he wanted to honor his commitment to his stand-up, which was virtually non-existent.
Right.
And then he does that thing where he gets hired as a writer on Ted Lasso, and he films himself as Roy Kent, and he sends it out and says, if you guys don't like this, just pretend like I never sent it to you. Remember that?
Yes.
And so now he goes from that all the way to starring in a show with Harrison Ford. And then he seems, I mean, I don't know who's 10 years older than you that you're kind of smitten with. Could you even name anybody?
You mean in a relationship kind of way? Or a crush?
Yeah, a crush.
I guess Brad Pitt's 10 years older than me.
Yeah, sure. Good. So I think the way this movie first came to me, it was J-Lo and him in interviews. And I think they on purpose.
Right. They're playing up the flirtation. Yeah.
Well, they're also playing up the conventions out of When Harry Met Sally. So when you're watching them talk, it's just like all the interviews they cut to in When Harry Met Sally. And maybe he's a great actor, but actually, sorry, Brett, the movie doesn't make me think he's a great actor. He seems smitten with J-Lo.
Right.
And she seems moved emotionally by how much he adores her and how much he knows about her career. Like he is obvious. And so, he's obviously, so anyway, he had kind of like, I think a Hollywood, you're 10 years older than me in movies, singing crush. And now he's written this screenplay that he's starring in with her. So all that's fun to me.
Right. Although, when I look at them, they seem similar age. I guess because J-Lo looks so good.
Yeah, I think she's like 56.
Yeah, she's old. She's older than we are.
He's like 44. She looks incredible.
She looks incredible for 56. Let's be real.
He's like 44, 45. He doesn't look young or old. He
He looks
does.
normal. Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's not, I just don't think, I mean, I don't know. Does he have to be? Of course, then I started thinking about people like Billy Crystal is the leading man
I know.
in
He
this
went funny
movie
back.
that Meg Ryan, that he's like,
Well,
can
haven't
take.
you seen lots of examples that they show pictures from the 70s and stuff? And it's like, this man, the people in Cheers are, George Wendt is 35. It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
People just looked older and dressed older and just styled
I
themselves older.
mean, there's not a world to me in which Billy Crystal can take or leave Meg Ryan.
Right. If he wasn't Billy Crystal, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his character in the movie
His
is,
character in the movie is not as good
I
as
mean, I
her.
guess we
Yeah.
have all kinds of examples of that.
Yeah, I guess it can happen, right?
But we have movies that star Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie where we're like, we can see that.
Right. They're equal attractiveness, sure.
So
But
then I started.
tons of people are not equal attractive and they're together. Yeah.
So then we got there's some really, really funny standalone scenes that are really kind of closer to like an SNL. They're actually closer to like a really funny short scene in Ted Lasso. Um, and the movie really played hard into the tropes of romantic comedies. The ending is almost a complete copy of the Notting Hill ending, where Hugh Grant interrupts a press conference and Julia Roberts is up at I mean, it's just like that. So I ultimately did not stay interested enough to watch it from beginning to end.
Interesting. You know what it shares with Widow's Bay?
What?
Betty Gilpin is in both movies.
Oh,
do you know who Betty Gilpin is?
Not unless she was the pregnant lady.
She was the pregnant lady in The Office Romance. I've seen clips. The only reason I know this is I've seen clips on TikTok.
She's funny. I liked her.
And I was like, oh my God, Betty Gilpin's in this. Betty Gilpin in Widow's Bay. There's one episode that's a flashback to how Widow's Bay was founded, and she stars in that one episode. She's a great actress. She's a really fun actress.
She reminds me of Joan Cusack.
Yeah, she can be very funny, but she actually can do really dramatic stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has a little quirkiness to her.
There are some beautiful shots of the Dominican Republic, and like Megan didn't pay attention at all. And then all of a sudden she was like, where's that?
DR, get on the plane, Megan.
This guy, the director, I'm trying to do better at Ole Parker. He directed Ticket to Paradise. I didn't like that one either. Sorry, Ole.
I don't know that one.
It's got George Clooney, I think, and Julia Roberts.
His first name is Ole.
That's what it says. Ole Parker. O-L. O-L. Okay, I think I'm done with Office Romance. Are you out of things you watched?
Yeah, I watched 9 episodes of Widow's Bay, and I watched 8 World Cup games. What more do you want from me?
I mean, I actually think we're overdoing it on the number of things we share, but it's okay. All right. So, Secret Window, rented it on Amazon. When you were at my house, weren't you browsing to try to find the story?
Weren't I browsing what to try to find
I think you were looking around at my books and you thought you might.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I saw it, but it was really about how to write or something.
Yeah. So the actual story is called Secret Garden, Secret Window. And I did have it at my house. It's a short story in a collection. Let me just give you a little background before I'm not going to go deep.
I have seen this movie.
You have, right. And I used to list it as one of my favorites, and it's out now, and I'll say why it's out.
Yeah, good. It's not a great movie.
So David Koepp, do you know him, director?
No.
He did the Jurassic Park movies, Death Becomes Her, a couple Mission Impossibles, War of the Worlds.
Very successful, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys probably that doesn't have a distinct blueprint, right?
Spielberg didn't direct all of the Indiana Jones movies?
Apparently not.
Maybe he did. Maybe in there a television show?
You got me.
I don't know. Okay, because I have that down, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, so.
I can look it up while you're talking.
Here's what really bothered me about Secret Window that I had forgotten, and I think it's because I just hadn't become as woke as I am now, Anne.
I see. Yeah.
It's just like you've got Johnny Depp's character who ultimately gets away with murdering his wife and her boyfriend. And he sort of gleefully gets away with it. And that's just not something you do anymore. And you could say, well, Bill's been brainwashed by the woke, whatever. But also, as a writer, sure some men abuse and kill their wives and then it's over. But I need to be saying something interesting about that as the artist. And this film doesn't really do that.
Right. So he's kind of almost, what is he like celebrated for doing it? What are you saying?
I'm saying it's a movie in
Because
which,
certainly we have lots of movies about killers,
yeah, but I mean, yeah. So let's just take Silence of the Lambs, another movie
Great movie. One of the best movies
that's
ever.
suspenseful that I really like. Okay, what happens to the guy who puts the girl in the pit and makes her rub the lotion on it and is killing women? Well, they get him.
Right, right.
So I mean, among other things, they get him. So the statement is kind of they get him. And if you take something, what's the San Francisco, the blah blah.
Zodiac.
So the Zodiac killer, the statement might be sometimes evil people get away.
Right.
And so I guess the statement anyway.
Anyway, you didn't like how it was handled here.
But here's something that I didn't know. Let me say this first about who's in it, and then I'm going to say something that I forgot about the short story that made me very happy. Okay, here we go. So the movie stars Johnny Depp and John Turturro. John Turturro was gleefully in the stands last night in San Antonio.
Right. He seems like a New York kind of guy.
Yeah, so they showed him, and he's really good in this. So in the movie, Johnny Depp is an alcoholic, and he is actually, and so John Turturro, who's named Shooter in the story, Shooter comes and accuses Depp of plagiarizing a story. And spoiler alert, in the end, Johnny Depp gets away with killing, I guess I already said it, his wife and her boyfriend as he refuses to sign the divorce papers. But the movie is still really good and suspenseful in that almost like The Sixth Sense, 75% through the movie, and you're like, oh, wait, Johnny Depp is Shooter.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's a cool reveal twist that
I don't remember it, but yeah.
I didn't see coming the first time. But in the book, and this is a big credit to Stephen King, who when he wrote the story, knew that the story needed to say something else. It needed to do something interesting besides let Johnny Depp get away with burying his wife and ex-boyfriend in the garden, and then he grows corn using them as fertilizer, and then he's sitting there eating the corn at the end gleefully with his new braces on. In the story, Shooter, something supernatural happens where the writer's main character comes alive, and the supernatural being kills the writer Johnny Depp, and the ex-wife and the boyfriend get away. I like that better.
Oh, and they totally changed it for the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they thought it needed to be more simple.
Yeah, maybe they didn't think the mystical part would go over. David Koepp, he wrote Jurassic Park and he wrote Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Wow. He did not direct them.
So is that Indiana Jones exists? It's Spielberg's, and then he says, "Hey, Koepp, can you write me a screenplay?"
Yeah, I don't think Spielberg didn't direct it anyway. James Mangold directed it. It looks like I've seen it. No, this is like the last one.
Okay.
With when he's really old. I've seen it. It's okay. It's not great. But I don't think Steven Spielberg is like a single writer. He needs someone to write with him, right? Am I being sacrilegious to Steven Spielberg?
Yeah, so interesting. Boy, I didn't know this. So I just looked up The Temple of Doom. Directed by Steven Spielberg. Story by George Lucas.
Yeah, see, I don't think Steven Spielberg's a writer. Yeah, they're like best friends. You didn't know they were best friends?
I did not link them in that way.
Oh, I think they're best friends back in the day. Like, I just heard him tell a story about how Steven Spielberg told a story about Jaws, how he went to listen to the the John Williams.
I heard that too.
And he said hey, you should get George, you should get him to look at doing Star Wars. So, I mean, that's a big deal, the Star Wars themes. Secondly, what I was going to say is I did try to read The Stand by Stephen King. I haven't read much Stephen King in my life.
Yeah.
I got through maybe 100 pages and was like, no, it's not for me.
No, I read half of it. It's so long. And I think read this short story, Secret, although you know how it ends now. Read The Green Mile.
Yeah. And then prison? I don't know.
No, The Green Mile. Yeah, it is. And then, or read Shawshank. That's another
that's
prison.
Really prison. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, those are good. I think it has Rita Hayworth in the title of that one. I can't remember. Rita Hayworth is on the poster that he hides the hole he's digging in his cell. I can't remember if I don't think she's on the poster in the movie. Somebody else is on the poster in the movie. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my comments. I have seen that movie. I found it very unmemorable. I don't remember it. So
are there World Cup games that you got to watch today?
Right now, Germany's playing. Let's see the score. I don't think there's too many games that I'm really interested in today. Japan, Netherlands should be good. I might watch that. And a little bit of Sweden just because, they're Sweden. They're up there by the Norse people. So I might watch a little of that at 7.
I don't think I'm going to.
Not going to partake in it? Yeah.
Boy, and I know what I wanted to ask you to finish up. This would be, maybe we can keep doing this, but one idea for next week. So I'm excited to go, but I'm also, I'm so busy right now. I've got a 5-day week with my team. I'm taking them. We're going to the App State. We have 3 games on Tuesday at App State, and then we're going to Winston-Salem to play 2 games on Friday. I start camp on Monday. This weekend, Saturday, I'm spending the night in Charlotte. I'm going to Chris Stapleton and Lainey Wilson. So one possibility could be a live music report if you're able to go out and see live music in the next 7 days. Is that possible?
No, on the 29th, I'm going to see Rosalia, but is that too far away?
It's too far away.
Delay it.
You'd have to go to a club this week.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Why don't you go to a Hollywood club and see some music?
I'll see, but there probably won't be anybody that I'm.
So I do
like Chris Stapleton.
You do?
Yeah, I know like 2 songs. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll either do a live music report or we'll do this again.
Okay.
So you let me know about Wednesday. Take a look and see if there's anything.
I'll take a look at the schedules.
And good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Smart takes the shot, and the Hoosiers with 3 seconds. Go ahead.
But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete
and a basket case, a princess,
and a criminal. Does that answer your question?
I love you guys.